Hello and welcome to Joy in Our Town. I'm your host, Juilet Arrington. Today I have a wonderful guest with me. Her name is Cheryl Jackson. And Cheryl is going to be talking about abuse. Never a great subject to talk about, but a reality that we need to engage even the more, even in these times. So we're going to talk about abuse, is abuse, and no matter what that form is like. And we'd like to welcome you, Cheryl, to Joy in Our Town.
Thank you. Well, you're welcome.
Did she say that cute? Thank you. I mean, I love it. You're just delightful already. Listen, I think this is, like we said, a very important topic, and especially from this perspective that you're going to deal with us today, the emotional side. You know, like sometimes we see the physical.
Yes.
You can see that. You can see the just physical abuse, and there are several types that you talked about. The sexual, okay, yes, which is normally physical, all right, but that emotional and that verbiage talking
yes,
about abuse. Could you speak to that for us and give us some more insight when it comes to verbal and emotional?
Okay. Yes, with the verbal abuse, a lot of times you're ugly.
Wow.
You know, you makes me sick. You, what are you doing?
Wow.
Didn't I tell you to stop it? And it's the tone that startle and can bring fear and cause people and children to withdraw from you because it's the tone that you're using.
Now that's deep. That's deep. Okay, because you're just saying tone.
Yes.
Can be abusive.
Yes.
Wow, come on, give us some more on that, because really, you never think about that, really, that your tone, how would you know that the tone of one's voice is kind of taking a person into a fear mode, number one, and then that is going to display itself into a type of abuse with that tone?
Well, if I say to you, didn't I tell you not to go across the street? Well, you already know that if mom told you that, it's going to be something.
Okay, because even when you were saying that, and you're a good actress, because, you know, I kind of shrunk back right there. I did. I went back because, so it sounds as though when it comes to this tonality type abuse, that person shrinks back in at some type of fear mode, or fear that may be like frightening that you might do something to me.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Not just like if mom's just talking that, don't touch the stove. It's that tonality takes that person into a reaction that makes them feel as though they're threatened.
Yes.
Okay. Continue on with that. Yeah. Yeah. So talk about those different forms when it comes to that emotional side.
Okay. And one of the other things is, you know, with the with your emotions, a lot of times that if someone belittle you, or sometimes it don't even have to be words. Because my thing was, my abuse a lot of times with my exchange husband was that I would look.
Okay, so the looks
yes,
became the abusive, the tools used to
abuse. Yes.
Wow.
I might not physically can
hit a person.
Right. But I can look at you, give you that look, imitating you.
Wow.
Making you feel like what is really going on because I'm looking at you.
Okay, so the looks. Now that's powerful. So just the way I'm looking at you is going to begin to demean you and devalue you. Absolutely. And that becomes a strategy or one of the ways that a person uses to abuse.
Yes.
That's deep.
And that's a hidden secret, because a lot of times, guess what? People do not look at that or don't even think that that is a form of abuse.
That's deep. That's deep. So a lot of times, wow, but I guess when you kind of look at it and really look at that, yeah, that is an abuse, a tactic.
Yes.
You know, so whether a person's on a job or whatever.
Absolutely.
You know, I can be a boss coming behind you or just looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm saying something, but I'm not verbally saying it.
Yes.
So the expressions, and that is to get that person to whatever, calm down, or to make them know I'm ruling over you.
Yes.
So kind of speak to that because, you know, of course we heard things where people who really abuse, they're really trying to exercise a bit of authority over you.
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. And with that, they are getting you into position to where they are controlling you. They are controlling you and they're setting you up for that next stage of abuse. Whether it's going to be like, you know, I'm getting ready to sexually molest you and you better not say anything, but you know what I mean. You know that, especially after I've been molesting you for a while, I don't have to say anything now. I can just look at you and you know, if I'm looking at you, you know to start moving in that direction without me telling you, come on, let's go.
Whoa, that's deep.
Yes.
That's really deep. Because like you were saying, so it's escalated to a form of abuse now till my looking at you is telling you.
Yes. Yes.
That's frightening. Go ahead and talk about that some more. I know it's just so much. Listen, I know it's just so much because see, you kind of tap something that's traditionally not the way we talk about abuse. You know, we talk about the physical abuse and we've just kind of camped there, but the emotional abuse, which is, like you said, so insidious because it's hidden, it's not spoken. Right. But it's moved into the way people look. It's moved into these nonverbal movements and actions, you know, that's evoking this fear out of this person or subjugation of this person till, you know, I can control you so much, I just look at you.
Yes, and
you know.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yes,
wow.
And that's why when I was speaking earlier about it being so dangerous, that's the danger of it. Because I don't have to say anything. And I can get your emotions to going.
So let me ask you this, Cheryl. So when it comes to that, what should people be looking for? You know, when it comes to the emotional side, because you know, now I'm kind of looking like I think I've been abused. You know, non-verbally, because yeah, well, you know, and like I said, some things you have to make those distinctions whether a person's really been abused or because you know you got mama them from back in the day, talking just a little street vernacular there, that, you know, if grandmama just looked at you from the choir stand and you sitting up there playing in church, you know you better stop that.
Absolutely.
You know, so, but then it can go into something that's more insidious, just like you were saying, till if a person has been abusing a child or a girl, and this man's been doing it, and now he doesn't even have to say anything. He's just giving looks and glances and checking you in your behavior and that domination.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to you, how have you formulated some type of markers to let a person know whether they're being emotionally manipulated? So how would a person know if they're being emotionally manipulated? What are some of the things that you've seen, things that you would know if you saw it going on, that this person is actually emotionally manipulating this individual?
A lot of times what I do is I ask them, do you feel uncomfortable? Do you feel uncomfortable with what that person has just said to you? Do you feel uncomfortable about the way that someone is looking at you? And if you feeling uncomfortable, whether it's a little or a lot, if you feel uncomfortable, that is a sign for you to throw up that red flag, to start taking some caution.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yes. So the marker would be, we're all being educated here, whether whoever it is, whether it's from an employer or whatever the case may be, you know, the way this person might be talking to you, how it's making you feel. Like I said, you know, because that can be pretty subjective there. You know, you said something mean to me, you know, that's not necessarily abuse because you're being corrected.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But if it's something where it's taking you into, is demeaning.
Yes.
Or, you know, almost to me, feeling like you're ripping something out of me. You're taking, you know, you're crushing me.
Absolutely.
That crushing sensation.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Speak to that, and I know our time is leaving. Just, we need more time.
And so, yes, so those are things that I really try to tell people, if you feel uncomfortable about it, because I just had a situation with me on Facebook, and what I told that person, I inboxed him and told him, look, your posts have made me very uncomfortable, and I didn't like it, and it made me very uncomfortable. Could you please remove it?
Wow. Yeah, that even talking about the internet, that's moving into a whole nother realm of possibilities, because we're hearing that bullying and things like that and going on in the culture.
Cyberbullying, yes.
Yes, and so this emotional type of movement with that abuse. Okay, go ahead and just kind of wrap up anything you would like to say. We got about a minute. You know how time moves quickly here. Go ahead.
Yes. Well, I would like to just say that, you know, with the abuse, is not for us to educate and to bring awareness to everybody, not just that child, because you have that child, you have that adult, you have that older adult, you know, that grandparent.
Yeah.
All of those things, everybody fall in that type of abuse. So it's not that it's just child abuse. Abuse is abuse. And when we begin to identify it and call it out, then it would probably help a lot of this domestic violence, and a lot of things that's going on, if we begin to become bold in our statement and our stand against violence and abuse.
Cheryl, thank you for just bringing so much insight, especially from this emotional side.